Today is 30th July 2025, Wednesday. I am here, Pampa Kuchlan, a member of Hosla, a senior citizen care startup organization, reading news from Hosla Radio. Headlines are here. Interstellar object could be hostile alien craft. 2. SpaceX is set to launch its Crew 11 mission. 3. Pakistani terrorists killed in encounter. 4. No PM Modi, President Trump called during Operation Sindhu. 5. JP Nadda apologized for his comment in Lok Sabha. 6. 240 millions rise out of poverty, Niti Ayog's report. 6. Supreme Court says to Election Commission on voter verification approach. 7. Barabaki temple tragedy, 2 dead and 29 injured. 8. School job case, ED summons Bengal minister. 9. Supreme Court questioned Madhya Pradesh minister for not issuing public apology. 10. Dibba Deshmukh in chase history. 11. Armed Forces Conference on Sustainable Hospital Infrastructure. 12. Earthquake news in Russia. 13. Forest alert. Forests losing ability to absorb carbon dioxide. Milestone in Indo-US space collaboration. 15. Clues to origin of life on Earth. Coming to details. Scientist wants mystery interstellar object would be hostile alien craft. 28 July 2025. A respected Harvard astrophysicist has revealed new evidence suggesting that the mysterious object barreling towards Earth this December is an alien craft. Professor Avi Loeb and his team found that the supposed comet known as 3I Atlas is on an extremely unusual course that will take it close to 3 different planets, Venus, Mars and Jupiter. Loeb explained that 3I Atlas's course is so rare the chance of being a natural space rock randomly flying along the path is less than 0.005%. Based on those findings, Loeb, an outspoken believer in UFOs, has concluded that 3I Atlas may be an alien probe sent to the solar system by an unknown intelligence. Moreover, Loeb said that such a craft and the beings who control it would have one of the two motives, one being harmless and the other being hostile. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity and would possibly require defensive measures to be undertaken, though these might prove futile. Loeb and his team warned in their new study. The researchers' theory emerged from a grim scientific concept called the dark forest hypothesis, which assumes that other intelligent civilizations in the galaxy would be hostile and likely view humanity as a threat that needs to be attacked. What time is SpaceX's Crew 11 astronaut launch to the ISS on July 31st? SpaceX is set to launch its Crew 11 mission to the International Space Station on Thursday, July 31, and the event will stream live online. The mission is targeting liftoff at 12:09 p.m. EDT from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The mission will send 4 astronauts to space station aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft, marking the 11th operational commercial crew rotation flight and the 12th human space flight under NASA's Commercial Crew program. The launch will be live streamed on multiple platforms, including social media, NASA Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Space.com. Coverage begins around 8 a.m. EDT with pre-launch commentary followed by live views of crew readiness and launch operations, according to a statement from the space agency. Now, national and international news. Pakistani terrorist killed in encounter. July 28, 2025. 3 heavily armed Pakistani terrorists were killed in Operation Mahadev, jointly launched by Chinar Corps of Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police, and CRPF in the Harwan area on the outskirts of Srinagar on Monday. The Indian Army confirmed that 3 terrorists were killed in the encounter. One of the terrorists killed is believed to be Suleiman Shah, the mastermind behind the Pahalgam terror attack, sources said. No PM Modi, President Trump called during Operation Sindoor. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Monday made it clear to Pakistan that India will not yield to nuclear blackmail and cross-border terrorism will get an appropriate response. Intervening in the debate in Lok Sabha on India's strong, successful and decisive Operation Sindoor in response to terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jaishankar also stated that terrorists will not be treated as proxies. Terror and talks can't go together, and terror and good neighborliness cannot coexist. New Delhi, 29th July. Union Minister J.P. Nadda, who's lost his mental balance remark about Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, sparked a tumult in the Lok Sabha during the discussion on Operation Sindoor, has apologized to the Congress chief. I have taken back my words. I also apologize if your feelings have been hurt, he told the veteran leader. The row had started when Mr. Kharge concluded his fiery speech with strong remarks on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After issuing his apology, he added, "But I want to say you got so carried away by your emotions that you could not even take care of the dignity of the Prime Minister. We are sad about this." Niti Ayog's report. 248 million rise out of poverty in a decade. New Delhi, 28 July. India presented the Voluntary National Review 2025 at the United Nations, highlighting a decade of focused policy action and significant achievement across key areas of sustainable development. Presented by the Vice Chairman of Niti Ayog, Shuman Berry, the report showcases how concerted efforts have led to transformative outcomes, positively impacting the lives of millions. One of the most notable achievements has been in the area of poverty alleviation. Over the past 10 years, an estimated 248 million individuals have escaped multidimensional poverty, reflecting the success of inclusive development policies and targeted welfare programs. Coming to next. Mass inclusion and not exclusion should be the goal, Supreme Court. New Delhi, 28 July. The Supreme Court on Monday told the Election Commission of India to adopt a voter verification approach based on mass inclusion, not mass exclusion, as it questioned the Commission's refusal to accept Aadhaar and electoral photo identity card as valid proof of identity under the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar. A bench of Justice Suryakanta and Justice Jaimalla Bagchi did not accept the ECI's argument that Aadhaar and EPIC cards can be forged, pointing out that 10 out of 11 documents already accepted by Commission can be equally faked. The court said forgery is always a possibility, but that cannot be a reason to discard widely held documents like Aadhaar or voter ID cards. Recall 22 lakh migrant workers, says CM Mamata to TMC MP. Bolpur, 28 July. call all those 22 lakh migrant laborers working in other states back to West Bengal, instructed Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee at her administrative meeting in Gitanjali Auditorium in Bolpur today. These 22 lakh migrant laborers have gone through the middlemen, but when they face any trouble, the middlemen flee. We will set up camps for them and provide job cards, Swasthya Sati cards and ration cards, she said. Rajya Sabha MP of Birbhum, Shamirul Islam, is heading the migrant worker cell of the state, and addressing him, CM Mamata Banerjee instructed him to start taking steps to bring them back as soon as possible. She said that Bengali-speaking laborers are taken to detention camps and even pushed back. This is the only peaceful solution if they all return back to their native places and will be provided jobs under Karmosri scheme, she said. Barabaki temple tragedy. 2 died, 19 injured. 28 July 2025. At least 2 people lost their lives and 29 others were injured in a stampede-like situation after an electric wire fell on a tin shed in Aushaneshwar Mahadev temple in Uttar Pradesh's Barabaki early in the morning. The incident happened while devotees had lined up for darshan on the third Monday of Sawan. The stampede took place around 2 a.m. during the Jalabhishek ritual. According to initial reports, the chaos was triggered after news of an electric short circuit spread among people present at the premises. Authorities stated that the electric wires snapped and fell onto a tin shed inside the temple complex after some monkeys jumped on them, causing a short circuit. As a result, around 19 people received electric shocks. Some of the injured were taken to Trivediganj Community Health Center, while a few others were referred to a higher medical facility due to their critical condition. School jobs case. ED summons Bengal Minister, Kolkata, 28 July. The Enforcement Directorate on Monday issued a notice to West Bengal Minister in charge of the state micro, small and medium enterprises and textile department, Chandranath Sinha, for questioning in the multi-crore cash for school job case in the state. Sources aware of the development said that Sinha had been asked to be present at the ED's office at the Central Government Office Complex at Salt Lake in the northern outskirts of Kolkata on 31st July. On that day, Sinha had been asked to be present at ED's office with his bank accounts and property details. However, Sinha had refrained from making any comments to the media persons over the notice from ED. Supreme Court questions MP Minister Kunwar Vijay Shah for not issuing public apology. New Delhi, 28 July. The Supreme Court on Monday pulled up Madhya Pradesh Minister Kunwar Vijay Shah for failing to tender a proper public apology for his derogatory remarks against Colonel Sophia Qureshi, who had led India's media briefing on Operation Sindoor, India's military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. A bench of Justice Suryakanta and Justice Jaimalla Bagchi expressed displeasure after Shah's counsel informed the court that he had issued an apology online. The court had earlier directed Shah to make a sincere and public apology for his comments, which were widely condemned as crass and shameful. The matter will now be heard on 18 August. Teen sensation Dibba stuns Hampi to win FIDE Women's Chess World Cup 2025. Rising star Dibba Deshmukh has etched her name in chess history by defeating veteran compatriot Koniru Hampi to win the FIDE Women's Chess World Cup 2025 held in Batumi, Georgia. The thrilling final was decided in tense tie-breaks on Monday after the two classical games ended in draws. By winning the prestigious tournament, the 19-year-old Dibba also secured her Grand Master title. She is now the fourth Indian woman to reach this elite status, joining the ranks of the country's chess legends. Armed Forces host first ever conference on sustainable hospital infrastructure, New Delhi, 28 July. The conference on sustainable hospital architecture, planning, infrastructure and equipment SHAPE 2025 was organized by the Department of Hospital Administration at Army Hospital Research and Referral here in New Delhi. Over 275 experts from the armed forces and civil domains, including hospital administrations, doctors, nurses, engineers, and architects, came together in the two-day seminar to deliberate on the challenges and future roadmap for creating sustainable, resilient, and patient-friendly hospital infrastructure in India. A very serious news today in the morning: earthquake and tsunami. A strong earthquake struck off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. It triggered a large tsunami. Coastal areas faced evacuation. Submerged buildings and massive water drenching were seen. The quake's magnitude was 8.8. Tsunami waves reached up to 4 meters. Warning issued for Japan, Hawaii, and other Pacific regions. People were asked to leave their homes. The earthquake was the strongest in decades. The quake was located around 250 kilometers from Hokkaido. In addition to structural damage to ports, BNO News reported that 4 whales had washed ashore on the Japanese coastline in the aftermath of the waves. According to US Geological Survey, the earthquake is the 6th largest on record. Forest alert. India's forests are losing their ability to absorb carbon dioxide, with their photosynthetic efficiency declining by up to 12% in some dense forest areas over the past 2 decades, a new study has found. The study is the first attempt to measure reduced photosynthetic efficiency across Indian forests and link it to soil dryness and heat stress. A good news today, a milestone in Indo-US space collaboration. The NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar (NISR) satellite, a joint Earth observation mission, is scheduled to launch on July 30, 2025. This collaboration between India and the US will provide a high-resolution all-weather imagery for disaster management, climate monitoring, and more. NISR's open data policy aims to empower global decision-making and emergency response efforts. The satellite is set to launch aboard India's GSLV F-16 rocket from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. Clues to origins of life on Earth in Ladakh's hot springs. New Delhi, July 29. A natural hot spring in the Ladakh's Fuga Valley may offer critical clues to how life began on Earth and how it might exist elsewhere in the solar system, including Mars. A team of Indian scientists from the Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleosciences under the Department of Science and Technology has discovered that calcium carbonate deposits travertine from the high altitude Fuga hot springs could act as natural incubators for early life-forming molecules. The findings challenge conventional theories which focus primarily on silica-based origin of life by revealing the underexplored role of carbonate minerals, especially calcium, in supporting prebiotic chemistry. The discovery has potential implications for astrobiology and planetary explorations, particularly for missions by agencies like ISRO seeking to identify biosignatures on Mars and other celestial bodies. So, it is in a direction to provide more knowledge on how life-sparking chemistry could have occurred in real-world extreme environment far beyond controlled laboratory settings. We are curious of having the valuable insights in the fields of synthetic biology and about our existence here through the path of evolution after the inorganic molecules are synthesized to form organic one in natural incubators of hot springs or like that. So, thanks to our majestic nature and its beautiful creation. Concluding here today, best wishes to you all. Namaskar.